What's going on, everyone? We are back with another farming strategy video, and this might be my favorite farming strategy just simply because it is mindless. You don't have to worry about mechanics or anything. If you had a long day at work or you're busy, you don't want to worry about mechanics and just run through having to think about stuff. This is perfect. You just go in and kill. You just clear the map, you go, you make a new map, you clear it again, rinse and repeat. So make sure you get liked and subscribed. Let me know you like these building or these strategy videos, and let's just get into it. Now, for the Atlas tree, the main name of the game for this is just getting as many monsters in there as we can, and also increasing the amount that they drop and more of what they drop, because again, we are utilizing scarab drops as part of it. I know it's annoying that every farming video is just make sure you're getting more scarabs or as much scarabs as possible, but that is just the meta right now, and there's really no getting around it. Just getting random scarabs is probably the easiest way of making money, especially with the currency exchange. So some of the nicer ones, if you don't feel like selling them in bulk, you don't have to. You can just offload them on the currency exchange. So going from the bottom, I go right up the middle. Per usual, I get the scarab node. I get the explicit modifiers, increased effect on your maps. Again, this makes them drop more quantity, you get more rarity and things like that, but you also make the maps a little bit harder. So as always, whenever I go over some of these explicit modifier nodes, if you're having a hard time running rare maps with your build, you can take these off for now to build some currency, get a stronger character, and you can do this. So it can be something that you work towards. It is not insanely necessary. It's not going to completely brick this strategy at all. It is something always to keep in mind. Go over here, we get the Shaping the Skies. We're going to be getting a lot of tier 17 maps from this, and this helps. We are forcing Delirium. We want Delirium on every map. Now, there is an offset that I have in my head. I will have 2 Atlas trees in the description of the video. One is going to be more beyond. It'll be a little bit easier. Delirium can get a little bit tougher for some people, so I'm going to make a variant that even though I don't do, you could see my kind of working if you want to make it a little easier and do this with more beyond monsters instead of Delirium. But we want Delirium in the map. We go down here and we also want Ritual in the map. Now, you can notice if I click the Ritual icon, you can see where all the Ritual nodes are. There's 5 of them, and there's 3 up here, and there's 1 up here. You can see I am not taking any of the nodes. That's because I am not actually doing the Ritual. It just adds more monsters into the map when the rituals actually spawn. So it is great for this strategy, but I am not running the ritual. Now, could you run the ritual? Yes, you absolutely could, but running ritual without any of the Atlas nodes and no scarabs or anything like that sounds like the worst hell ever, so I do not suggest running the rituals, but of course, you could if you want to every once in a while. Still is probably my favorite mechanic, at least in the top 3, but without nodes, Atlas nodes, and scarabs, it is pretty pointless and just a waste of time, in my opinion. On the right side, we just take more stuff for mapping, shaping the mountains. Go up the left side, we get some more Delirium, chance for Delirium Orb. A little bit of Delirium Fog, dissipates slower. That means nothing, because we are going to be taking Unending Nightmare. Now, this makes it so the Delirium is not timed. You do not have to rush through the map. It will stay there, and whenever you get a pop of a new level of Delirium, the items for that level will just drop on the ground right there, instead of all at once at the end of the Delirium. The reason I do this is because of the map I run. One, that is kind of important, but also it just makes things simpler. You can kind of go at your own pace, especially if the map is a little too hard for your character sometimes. You need to slow it down. Not that big of a deal. I do like Unending Nightmare for this, even though you cannot drop Cluster Jewels and Delirium Orbs when you do the, or Simulacrum Sprinters and Delirium Orbs when you take this, cannot be found. That can be decent currency. The Delirium Orbs and rerolling them has been a strategy I've been doing for a while. This league, it seems the only thing worth it is the Scarab Delirium Orb, and the weighting on that is a lot lower, so you find a lot less of them, so it isn't quite as good of a strategy as it used to be, so I don't mind saying screw Delirium Orbs if I don't have to think or worry about running out of Delirium time as I get through the fog. Still going up the left, I take a point in here to get 10% Ritual, Alter Chance, the same with up here, with the 10%, getting to, with the full tree, 100%, so there are always rituals in the map. I do run the Searing Exarch altars on this, so I do take this, but I'm going to be completely honest, a lot of times I don't even read them. You might be better off messing with this tree and going for the Eldritch altars just so you can search for a divine altar, because it has a chance of a divine altar. But if you really want to maximize the currency you get from this, you should be looking at and running the Searing Exarch altars if you can. But I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of times I barely glance at them unless it's something good like a Grand Eldritch Ember, then I will actually click it, but I don't a whole lot of the time. Then we got more Ritual Chance, some more Delirium stuff, some more chance to have layers of Delirium, and generate more rewards types. Up here we get more Scarabs, get more Effect Multiplier that I've already stated. If the maps get too hard, you can take points out. Get the Delirium reward types of your maps, gain +1 count on map completion. This means killing the boss. That is how you get map completion, so you want to clear as much of the map as possible. Ideally getting to that level 5 or 6 on the Delirium rewards. They will be in the bottom left corner. Right here you will see them. And then killing the boss, because it'll automatically give you up to that 6 or up to that 7. Path in the middle, get some Quant nodes, get some Shrine nodes, because we are going to be using the Domination map device option on here. And this will give us packs of blue monsters. Also, more blue monsters and things like that going to give you more gold. This strategy is great for just farming gold. You're going to be running through these maps pretty quickly. You're going to get plenty of gold, so that is nice as well. We go more explicit modifier effect. We get invasive adversaries, so your maps have 10% more monster packs, consisting of difficult and rewarding monsters. This is a great one to take. Again, with the effect multiplier, you could take some of these points out if they get a little too hard. You can path a little bit differently, so you can take these and then go down here and take this, and then take out these points. And these points, just by taking this path around, you can mess with it that way if things get too difficult. And that's basically the tree. I don't think there's anything else I want to go over. Nope, I think that's basically it. For the maps, I am running the Dry Sea, and I am running Mesa. Now, the reason that I am running Mesa is because it is a very, very simple layout. It's a big outer circle with a little inside circle, and the boss is always directly in the middle, so it's very easy to clear, and Now, I was mentioning the Unending Nightmare is very helpful with this Dry Sea map, because the boss is in different spots all the time, and I'm sure people know, certain people, if they've run Dry Sea a ton, might be able to say, I know exactly where the boss is, but I don't. I do not run Dry Sea that often. The reason I am ping-ponging between Dry Sea and Mesa is because Dry Sea can drop the Fortunate card, which is an uncommon card. It's not rare, it's just uncommon. I usually get one every 3 or 4 maps using this strategy, and I also found a Nameless Seer in the Dry Sea map, and then scried the Mesa map with the Dry Sea cards, so when I'm ping-ponging, both of the maps can drop the Fortunate card. So I favored a bunch of Mesa, favored a bunch of Dry Sea. They have a tendency, especially the bosses, in their respective maps, to drop the map for the other one. You can just keep going back and forth to a map decent pack size, easier layouts. For the maps, if you are doing Searing Exarch altars, it has to be tier 14+. You want to do these as rare as you possibly can, always chiseled, so this is technically an Alk and Go strategy, but the higher quantity, if you want to run 8 mod maps, corrupted maps, and you can do that, that is perfectly fine. But if you have to lower the tier, that's okay. If you need to run tier 14 instead of 16, or if you need to go a little lower, it is fine, but you want as much quantity as possible. Always chisel your maps and alk them if you can. Remember, if a map is blue or yellow now, you could still hit it with a chisel 4 times. You do not have to scour it down to white to get that maximum chisel effect. So you can do that, and then you can alk it, and you're just good to go. And with this strategy, that's why I love it. You just go to Domination. That's going to give you 3 additional shrines. It's going to give you more monster packs, especially with the magic monster packs from that Atlas passive that we took. You just go in here and you kill. You don't think about anything. You pop anything you want to, and you can turn your brain off, and you just go through and you kill stuff. Hit the Delirium, wait for Delirium to fully come up before you start killing stuff. Almost broke my own rule. And just run it through. Now, you won't be seeing Delirium if you do the Beyond Monster variant. Instead of using the Delirium, the Beyond Monsters are just going to randomly appear and spawn. But other than that, yeah, you're going to get a lot of gold. I have a Mage Blood now, and I'm running a Gold Flask. Remember, you always want to be running a gold flask if you're starting to run low on gold, or it's getting towards the end of the day and you need to save up gold for your workers to work overnight with your port. Remember to always put your flasks, if you do not have a mage blood, on reused when charges reach full, or reused at end of effect. You can do that on the crafting bench. You can just put it in here and put in used when charges reach full. You get this craft at the end of the campaign, so you should have it. This is very helpful for your flasks. This strategy is also going to give you a lot of tier 17 maps, namely if you do decide to pick the 2 maps I do, namely Dry Sea and Mesa. You're going to be getting a lot of Citadel and a lot of Fortress. Fortress drops from Mesa, and it is worth about, you could sell for about 95 to 100 chaos a piece, and you do get them relatively often. I have these 17. I think I found like 10 last night using this strategy, and I ran for maybe 2 to 3 hours. I got about 10 maps, so very, very good. You'll get a lot of scarabs also. Like I said, per usual, you could sell those on the currency exchange, or you can use a bulk selling tool like Regex, or the new max roll one, which might be Regex, or you can use TFT. Not going to go over that. Whenever I talk about TFT, people get grumpy, so I'm just going to avoid talking about that. But I have other videos talking about that. There's plenty of videos that can explain how to do that if you want to go about it that way. And that's basically it, guys. That is the strategy. I hope you enjoyed this. If I missed anything, please check in the comments or description. I might have already noticed that I forgot and added it in the notes to the description, or sometimes people in the comments say, I like doing this way, or I think you should do it this way. Most of the time, they are very good tips, so it's always good to read the comments. Make sure you leave your own comment and leave a like. That helps the video a ton and the algorithm to get seen, and I always appreciate it. Make sure if you are not subscribed on Twitch, you go do that. Twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk. And we also have a Discord where we hang out and just talk shop. The link to that is also in the description. Hopefully this helps you guys. Let me know how it works for you, and I will catch you on the next one.